today this show can be seen on Roku and Roku Fire TV 6 and Amazon Fire TV 6 and on ZingoTV on Chromecast and all smart TVs 2016 forward. Please remember to download both the Barn Burner and ZingoTV apps in their respective app stores. Both are free on both iOS and Android devices. While you're using, please remember to rate and leave a comment so we know that you're enjoying them and getting the most out of your usage. So this is the first episode back from the holidays right here again on Barn Burner TV Network and ZingoTV channel 250 for PWHP Over the Glass. And it's been a really busy holiday season to get back into things, back into the gist that is, women's hockey and getting ready for still a season that is somewhat uncertain in terms of the Dream Gap Tour version 2. Again, fully supported and sponsored by Secret Deodorant, who again earlier this year put down $1 million, and that'll go towards financial winnings. That'll go towards a secret cup rather than just a banner to be held after a game once you win. That'll go towards, again, selling their product in arenas. And again, that is with the hope that people eventually, again, will be able to attend once the COVID-19 vaccine really starts to show its progress. And, that is done in, a mass way. But that being said, there was a next step that was taken right before the holiday season begun. And so we're going to get right into that today, again, because we look at the huge strides of women's hockey, and I think that this really speaks volumes to that. So that being said, let's get right into it. This month, we do know that, the PWHPA earlier on, back on December the 17th, announced a partnership with Sports Logic, which again, Karel Amard from the Montreal PWHPA region and on the board works with that company. And so they've become the official data provider of the PWHPA. And that came after the National Women's Hockey League agreed to a deal with Hockey Analytics and Stathletes run by Megan Chaika right here out of Toronto. So again, that provides, further analytics and a single platform for accessing essential metrics, video, and again, analytics. And again, this is on Sports Logic's ICE platform, which is the most widely used analytics tool amongst NHL teams, also used in Sweden. So, again, it just kind of speaks volumes to the next steps of women's hockey. When you look at, what they've already gotten, again, they've gotten team sponsorships with Scotiabank, Sonnet. They've got other partnerships when it comes to Canadian Tire, Bottega Gold. So, again, really huge strides taken this year, 2020, and what has been a most particularly difficult year, to say the very least. And so, with that, we have to keep in mind that, sure, this wasn't the year we all wanted, but it did give time to really advance it into the next steps and the next stages of what it is that we want to see when we think of the word professional going alongside with women's hockey. And so when you coincide the two, you have to understand that a lot of this stuff takes a lot of time and energy and resources. And so Chelsea Purcell and Jana Hefford, they are the best of the best. Both have worked in the CWHL in different capacities. So huge ups to both of them for making these partnerships happen, and for Sports Logic as well to Karel Amard for fantastic work. I had her on last month for a chat about, being in a pandemic, among other things, and skating and what that looks like in Montreal. And so we understand the challenges, but again, the challenges don't outweigh the benefits, because the benefits are it has allowed the PWHPA, even though they're not a league, to put themselves in a position where they are, league ready and continue to market themselves as if they are, again, a league, and they want to get themselves to that point where they once again can be a league. But again, it won't be under the branch that is, the former CWHL ownership, because we know that it just wasn't working. And so they are currently seeking, investor or the NHL's help, whatever it may be. And I think that a lot of the work that they've put in the last month particularly has only helped get them to that point, helping them to make that further outreach commitment to grow the game, get their names out there, become what we've all been anticipating, and that is by all means, professional standards. The next thing that they, of course, have to work on is furthering their, TV coverage. I think that's something that many of us are waiting for. We do know that this past season they were on the ESPN mobile app, the CBC Gem mobile app, and Monumental Sports Network. And sure, it was a start, but we want to see them on TV. So, and I think that this year, if anything, that goes to show that that's probably something they are continuing to work on behind the scenes. And it'd be really nice to have the Dream Gap Tour actually presented on TV, much like we know that the NWHL is having 3 games in their bubble starting January 23rd on NBC Sports on television. So I think that that's going to be certainly an important next step when the Dream Gap Tour does become official, whether that be CBC, TSN, whatever that might look like. I would say Sportsnet, but Sportsnet will be busy covering the NHL season, which again, that starts January 13th, and that'll be from end to end. So won't really leave much room there. But TSN, it's up for grabs. CBC, it's up for grabs. Again, with the partnership already hand in hand with the CBC Gem app, I'd expect to see CBC step up and agree to put them on television where they rightfully so deserve, knocking off a couple of their regularly scheduled programs to give these women the airtime and attention that they rightfully so deserve. So that being said, I've now put in about 6 minutes into that rant. So thank you for listening to that. Let's get right into today's show. So the PWHPA continued to grow over the holiday season. On December 21st, they announced that about 28 of their players from both the New Hampshire region and the Minnesota region will be heading to Tampa Bay early in January to take part in what they are calling the USPHL's Hub City Tampa. So here's the press release from the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association. In the midst of trying times, all stars from the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association, PWHPA, will be hitting the ice in January 2021 to take part in the USPHL's Hub City Tampa. Hub City Tampa was developed by the USPHL based in the northeastern part of the United States as a means to ensure player safety during the COVID-19 pandemic while continuing its Tier 2 NCDC and Tier 3 Premier Elite junior seasons. In all, 11 of the players representing the PWHPA in Tampa Bay were members of the team of both Team USA in 2018, which won the Olympic gold medal at the 2018 Winter Olympics in South Korea. The PWHPA All-Star team, along with the USPHL teams, will stay in Tampa Bay for a 2-week stint from January the 4th to January the 18th, 2021. During the course of their stay, the team will face off in exhibition games against the USPHL teams from the Tier 2 NCDC League. They will also take part in on-ice practice sessions and off-ice training. The opportunity comes at a time when playing high-level competition has become difficult due to COVID-19. With travel and hockey restrictions in place throughout the United States, the ability to play games and practice on a consistent basis has been nearly impossible. This opportunity gives the players a chance to experience a normal competitive hockey atmosphere while in a safe environment. All players will adhere to strict COVID protocols, including but not limited to guidelines regarding travel, facility management, and any hockey sport-related policies will remain in effect. The USPHL will have trained medical staff on site throughout the duration of the Hub City event. The team will be coached and managed by Bill Flanagan, who is the head coach and GM of the New Hampshire Regional Training Hub in the PWHPA. Flanagan, who also coaches in the USPHL with the Northern Cyclones, organized this 2-week trip and has backed it financially as well, making it feasible and bringing on the PWHPA to give them that space to train and play as well. So in a statement from Bill Flanagan, again, the GM of the Northern Cyclones and of the PWHPA region in New Hampshire, he said, "This is an outstanding opportunity to train and play as a team against some high-level competition. The facilities that these women will have access to are top-notch. They will truly be able to focus on high-level hockey during this trip and will be treated and taken care of like the professionals they are. I'm really looking forward to getting down there with this group of talented women." So players will isolate at Saddlebrook Resort, a multi-dimensional Tampa resort and conference center, and play games and practices at the Advent Health Center Ice. Advent Health Center Ice is a state-of-the-art 4-sheet full-service ice hockey facility. Now, in a statement from Gigi Marvin, who is formerly of the Boston Pride in the NWHL and a current member of the U.S. national women's team, she said, "I'm very excited to head to Tampa with the PWHPA and compete against the USPHL teams. The location was home to our 2018 Olympic gold medal, winning teams, and it'll be a blast being back there again. I appreciate all the work Bill Flanagan and the USPHL have done to get this incredible trip prepared, and I can't wait for those games to begin," Gigi said. Again, she was a member of the 2018 Olympic gold medalist for Team USA, and again is with the New Hampshire regional training hub as a forward in the PWHPA. So Brianna Decker, who is a representative of the Calgary region and currently skating in Minnesota and is a 2018 Olympic gold medalist for Team USA, said, "We are extremely thankful to be factored into the USPHL's hub city. We are excited to compete together and play games against some great talent." Now, the roster heading to Tampa will contain players from both, again, the New Hampshire and Minnesota regional training hubs in the PWHPA. At forward, the rosters look like this: Chelsea Goldberg from New Hampshire, Delaney Balinskis from New Hampshire, Nicole Schammel from Minnesota, Haley Skamura from New Hampshire, Sydney Brott from Minnesota, Sophia Shaver from Minnesota, Kelly Panic from Minnesota, Hannah Brandt from Minnesota, Haley Skarupa from New Hampshire, Gigi Marvin from New Hampshire, Danny Cameronese from Minnesota, Brianna Decker, again from Calgary but currently with Minnesota, Amanda Kessel from New Hampshire, and Abby Roque from Minnesota. They will all head south to Tampa Bay in just a couple days' time. So defensively, the team will consist of Lillian Riverina Braga from New Hampshire, Cody Cross from New Hampshire, one of the newest faces to the PWHPA this season, Jinsey Dunn from New Hampshire, again, another new face, Lee Steckline, formerly of the NWHL's Minnesota Whitecaps and currently U.S. national women's team, Savannah Harmon as well from the U.S. national women's team and the Minnesota regional training hub of the PWHPA, Megan Keller from the U.S. national women's team and current member of the New Hampshire regional training hub of the PWHPA, and Callie Flanagan from the New Hampshire region of the PWHPA and the U.S. national women's team. The goaltenders are Katie Burt, Brittany Ott, and Nicole Hensley as the three goaltenders on the roster. Burt and Ott are rostered in New Hampshire, while Hensley is on the Minnesota roster. The full game schedule will be released by the USPHL in the coming days. Stay tuned to the Women's Hockey Tribune for more details where to watch these exhibition games, and you can learn more about the USPHL's Hub City Tampa initiative by clicking the following link at the bottom of the press release. Now, I did read into some of this last week, but I wanted to reiterate some of this today, only because it's so important that, there's an understanding of, professionalism within this, troubling COVID-19 pandemic for the PWHPA. And so, yes, while I did speak about it last week, I did want to make a mark on that because, again, truthfully, this is a really important event for the PWHPA to be taking part in, and really big on Bill Flanagan's part to, allow for it to happen, as again, he is financially backing this event from start to finish, from hotels to arenas to all amenities in between. So that being said, let's take a look at what else has been going on in the PWHPA this week. So number one, the PWHPA and Adidas have announced their second pop-up shop, which is open for another 6 days, 13 hours and 17 minutes. So please visit shop.pwhpa.com. I went over some of their clothing last week and am getting myself a blue PWHPA sweater, which is, it just, look, the point I'm trying to drive across here is, represent women's hockey. Let's get women's hockey on the mark, give them the revenue that they're looking for. And, that's not even why they're doing this, but, let's face it, this merchandise, it looks really, really solid, whether you get yourself a hoodie, a zip up, a t-shirt, or a toque, as we Canadians call it. This is, how you market women's hockey properly, and the NWHL has done their part with merch, and so the PWHPA is doing their part as well. And so when they speak about who they are, a lot of this merchandise really defines them as, you look at their description, which says the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association is a united voice of players with a mission to promote, advance, and support a single viable professional women's ice hockey league in North America that showcases the greatest product of women's professional hockey in the world. So again, this stuff isn't just to give them the revenue. Sure, it'll help out with, certain amenities when it comes to road trips and whatnot in the future. But, as well, it's all stuff that, looks sharp and, it makes a great Christmas gift, a great holiday gift, a great birthday gift. And, you're doing it while you're supporting something that really truthfully matters, especially because in Canada, women's hockey doesn't get enough support. And that's truthfully just, the way it is. The CWHL was around for 12 years and, their attendance really only grew towards the end points. And, that was because of the great leadership that Brenda Andress left with putting Jana Hefford in at top command in her, in her spot. then these teams, a matter of marketing where they play, marketing their audiences. And so the same could be said for the PWHPA, who, thank you to the success that the CWHL had and the familiar staff who are at the top command of the PWHPA, they're able to market where these games for the Dream Gap Tour are being played, market why they're so important, among other things. So once, please, support women's hockey, watch the PWHPA once we know what's happening with the Dream Gap Tour and where it can be found. But most importantly, once we're able to get out into, a healthy and safe world again, please get out and support these talented women who have not had it easy the last 8 months, much like ourselves, being locked away in our homes to, keep the virus down and keep the numbers, within reason, if that lower. So, certainly our challenges have persisted, but everything that we can do to help these women get back to their feet on the ice and continue to market themselves for professional women's hockey league, whether that be via a private investor walking in and seeing it themselves, or Gary Bettman and Bill Daly from the NHL finally agreeing to step in and make it happen. Though again, that doesn't look to be the case given their partnership as well with the NWHL, and understanding that if it's going to happen at all, it has to be with the NWHL shutting down. Just take stake and significance in these women and the power and talent that these women have and consist of, because truthfully, they are the best of the best. I've seen it myself in person in the CWHL. Some of these players I've gotten to know well and I'm lucky to know, and they deserve the best. That's end of day, that's truthfully it. So do yourself a favor and go and get yourself a piece of clothing to represent the tireless work effort and ethic and talent that these women bring to the ice, especially that is again when they're allowed to, as we continue on with the Ontario lockdown during this COVID-19 pandemic, making practicing in Ontario really difficult for professional women's hockey. So hopefully they'll be back to doing their normal thing soon. But the U.S. regions that have been able to play include New Hampshire with the EWSHL during the summer, and it got a really strong attendance, and a lot of PWHPA players took part, facing some NWHL draft picks and signings. So, it gave a market for women's hockey to start, and Bill Flanagan with Hub City Tampa is really just continuing that and giving them an extra arm, and an extra stage to benefit from, to kind of ease the challenges that we have been faced with as both individuals and athletes through these persisting unprecedented times. So that being said, let's do a recap now of the month of December 2020. Whereas yes, we've seen our challenges, but at the same time, we've been able to kind of get away from that and realize what's the bigger picture here. So that being said, I'm going to get through some of this, hopefully all of it before the end of today's show. But if not, I will start next week's show with further recap of that. So this past month has brought some exciting roster announcements for the PWHPA's 2021 Dream Gap Tour. Toronto's PWHPA team was officially announced as Team Sonnet, while Calgary was unveiled as Team Scotiabank. Players such as Sarah Nurse, Natalie Spooner, and Renata Fast will compete for the Secret Cup for Team Sonnet. Check out all the talented players on the roster attached here. So you can do that visiting pwhpa.com. In Calgary, Rebecca Johnson, Bridget Lequette, and Casey Bellamy will lace them up for Team Scotiabank, along with a slew of incredible talent. Check out the roster attached there as well. Keep an eye out for more roster announcements coming in the new year. So a message from Jane Hefford says the following: as 2020 comes to a close, we can likely all acknowledge it has been a challenging one. The PWHPA has been working diligently to navigate through these uncertainties and uncharted territory. So I would like to acknowledge our entire PWHPA community for their loyalty, understanding, and patience. This includes players, coaches, staff, board members, and advisors, legal teams, partners, and fans. Thank you. Early in the new year, we celebrated the incredible success of our initial Dream Gap Tour and the incredible momentum that was building for our sport. Once COVID hit, we all became challenged in so many ways, and hockey certainly took a back seat. I believe we are seeing the early signs of the momentum coming back again, and I'm proud to see our PWHPA team continue to grow. In the past month, we have welcomed some new premier partners to the PWHPA, Sonnet Insurance, and Scotiabank. Both of these companies have deep hockey roots, and we are thrilled to welcome them to our team. Our players will be proud to skate in 2021 with these companies represented so prominently on their jerseys. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season, and on behalf of the PWHPA, I would like to extend our sincere best wishes in 2021. Here's to good health, more time with family and friends, and the return of the Secret Dream Gap Tour, Jana Hefford. So, again, at the leader of the pack, just someone who's so significant for so many reasons, is, she's someone to really give thanks to for all the success that's been had. Despite these, again, unprecedented circumstances, we didn't ask for it, but, dealing with it in the ways we can. Jana has been the rock of the PWHPA, Chelsea Purcell with the sponsorships right alongside her. So just signed to, take stock in while we continue to go through this pandemic. So PWHPA in the news, we saw Kendall Coyne Schofield was named a player development coach for the Chicago Blackhawks. She is the first woman to hold the position in the franchise's history. Join us in congratulating Kendall on this well-deserved accomplishment. Now, along with that, PWHPA player Shannon Sabados added another accomplishment to her long list by writing and illustrating a children's book. Grab your copy of Every Bunny Loves to Play on Amazon Canada or Amazon US now. Now, in addition to that, Canadian Tire Corporation Ltd. joined the PWHPA as a partner for the 2021 Secret Dream Gap Tour. This partnership will focus on supporting the players through discounts, gift cards, prizing, and regional supplies, all of which will help cut down costs for PWHPA players during the tour. Welcome to the team, Canadian Tire. Now, the PWHPA and the Grindstone Award Foundation have partnered up to provide 50 young girls across Canada with a Bauer helmet, gloves, skates, and a stick as a distribution partner through the Hockey Equipment Relief Program. To nominate a young girl who belongs to a historically marginalized group, such as Indigenous, Black, person of color, LGBTQ+, persons with disabilities, etc., and or whose family has been financially impacted by COVID-19, fill out a nomination form by December 22nd at midnight. So that is now passed, but a great initiative that the PWHPA has taken part in alongside Hockey Canada, Bauer, the NHLPA, and the National Hockey League. Now, the very last thing is the PWHPA Player Spotlight, which for this month goes to Kimberly Sass, who is a goaltender for the New Hampshire region. So there's a get to know her, which you can read more about at pwhpa.com. And last but not least, as you know, I work in media and the writing aspect of coverage for the PWHPA. We also have to look at the photographers who are so important to everything that has happened, especially with Team Sonnet and Team Scotiabank, to make them look savvy and stylish along with their new jerseys. The volunteers are again an integral part, and since the PWHPA's launch, photographers Lori Bolliger and Dave Holland have graciously donated their time and talent in order to provide professional photos for a variety of initiatives. Lori Bolliger plays, coaches, and watches hockey, and more importantly, she photographs it. One of her goals is to use her photography to help raise awareness for and contribute to the advancement of professional women's hockey, where women can enjoy the sport as a sustainable career. Connect with Lori through her website, loribolliger.com, and you can find her on Instagram as well. Dave Holland previously volunteered for the CWHL and currently works at the Canadian Sport Institute Calgary, providing elite athletes with photos free of their own use. Connect with Dave through his website, daveholland.ca. Join us in thanking Lori and Dave for their continuing commitment to the PWHPA. And then, if you want more updates on everything going on with the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association, make sure that you sign up for their newsletter and you can receive it right in your inbox. And that includes such features such as PWHPA Pet of the Month, among other things, such as the Player Spotlight and getting to know a player each month as we continue to near the hopeful start of the January 2021 Dream Gap Tour. So that really does it for a condensed episode of PWHPA Over the Glass. These episodes tend to go very quickly, but through that, I'm able to provide insight, whether it be with players or, albeit through website releases on, upcoming events, headlines, etc. And so, I hope to have done just that and, give you your weekly dose of PWHPA news as it pertains to these 200 plus wonderful professional women athletes who deserve the very best. I just, sincerely hope that we see that growth in audience continue to show in the new year once we hit that mark. But until then, a very happy new year to everyone. Please stay safe, be smart, and just, enjoy being together with your families. But, continue to social distance, wash your hands, be smart, and be safe. So that does it for me. My name is Justin Levine. You can find me on Twitter at Justin Levine HBS. For further news on the PWHPA, check me out on Twitter and at thepuckauthority.com for updated info on upcoming partnerships. So with more partnerships coming up in the new year, make sure you're sticking along. That does it for me. I'll be back right here next Tuesday, and hopefully with another round of partnership release from the PWHPA as we continue to near hopefully the return of hockey, and we're going to see the vaccine start to roll out in greater measures, and hopefully get ourselves back to a happier and healthy 2021. My name is Justin Levine. This has been PWHP Over the Glass right here on the Barn Burner TV Network and Zingo TV channel 250. Social distance, wash your hands,